Hey everybody, how you doing today? Well, I hope you're praying the rosary, getting closer to God, and following His ways, because Yahweh is the best way. Today I wanted to talk about consequences of our decisions. In particular, decisions regarding your spouse. I have a sister-in-law who got married years and years ago, and she wasn't happy with her husband. She felt like he wasn't uh, participating on his half. He wasn't doing his half of the of the marriage part, which him being a male was going out and getting a job and bringing some money into the household. They were living in my mother-in-law's house, and he kind of coasted for a while. And they had a child, and she decided enough was enough and kicked him to the curb. So get the heck out of here. So she got basically they separated. I don't think they ever got divorced legally, but they did separate. So basically, she got rid of him, and it says specifically in the Bible. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Now it's a cold. It's not COVID, and if it is COVID, COVID is nothing. So anyway, um, so okay, so she kicked him out, and he went his way. She went her way with her child or their child. But it says specifically in the Bible that the only reason why you should get divorced is for infidelity. Infidelity meaning that your spouse had a relationship with somebody else. And that's the only reason why you get divorced. Okay? Now remember, marriage is a sacrament. It's a holy sacrament. When you get married in the Catholic or Christian religion, you do it in the church, and it's a holy sacrament. It's very sensitive. It's not, these sacraments are really really critical in regards to the Christian religion. You can't take them lightly. I heard in some of my studies, cooking some food here, breakfast actually. I heard in my studies that Jesus is with us when we're doing a holy sacrament, whether it's penance or matrimony or baptism. Uh, Jesus is with us. He's celebrating. It also reminds me of the wedding at Cana when Jesus was with the Virgin Mary celebrating the marriage of a couple. And that was when Jesus actually made his first um, miracle. When the Virgin Mary asked him to make some more wine, and he was kind of didn't want to do it, said, "It's not my time, woman." But he went ahead and made the water into wine through God the Father, right? God the Father gave Jesus the ability to make the water into wine. So they all got involved, right? God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Virgin Mary the Mother. They got all involved in that particular miracle. So going back to what I'm trying to say. So okay, so now let's walk this through. This is what I'm getting to. Okay, so she separates from this man, has a child. Now the child is coming on 30 years old now, and uh, basically the child is not a didn't turn out very well. Let's put it this way. He's having difficulty. Never graduated high school. He has a hard time finding a job or keeping a job. He has a child out of wedlock. He still lives with his mom, and also the mother, the woman who kicked out the husband, never got remarried. Is a single woman, and basically she's a bitter woman. I mean, she's bitter. I've known her for over 20 years now, and I prefer not to even to be around her because she's just bitter, and she's and she takes my peace away from me. So I just avoid her as much as I can. So I want you guys to kind of understand this. Now you can compare it to maybe say for example she was patient, which is a virtue. Okay, patience is a virtue. It's a godly virtue. If she was patient with her husband, she could have turned things. She could have had things in a different way, because now her ex-husband, so to speak, is doing well. He has income. He has a business, and looking at it through those eyeglasses, so to speak, if he was with her, uh, and I'm not sure, you never be sure, but I'm pretty sure that first of all there'd be another income in the house, and maybe they would have more children, and maybe the child that they did have would have had a father figure and would have been a little bit more responsible, a little bit more, well, dedicated to God, because the son doesn't he refuses to walk into church. Um, so my point is this: I mean, if she would have been more patient, I feel her life at this point would be totally different. She would have a husband. She'd have a bigger family. She'd be much more happier. She'd have a confident somebody she could talk to, like a spouse, and it would be more of a union, right? More of a union as opposed to a split house where one person lives over here and other people live over here, and there's never that congruity, the unity, you know. So that's what I want to talk about today. That you really gotta be patient, follow God's virtues. God's virtues are important, and tolerance, go through all the virtues, humility, humility is tremendous, and try to follow God's ways and try to become as virtuous through God's ways as possible, because God is the creator, God is our Father, and He wants the best for us. And He has in the Bible ways for us to have a happy life. And we think that we know more than God, and we go and do our own thing, and then we suffer for it. And why suffer when you can be obedient to God the Father and live a happier life? It's really kind of like a no-brainer. However, give it a shot. I tell people, give it a shot. I tell people, pray the rosary. Pray the rosary. I didn't even pray the rosary. I was well into in my 50s before I started praying the rosary. And I've been continuously praying it for now almost 8 years. Why do I do it? I do it because I believe in it. It helps me, right? So I'm trying to tell you guys, give it a shot. Put God to the test. But everybody says, oh, well, they don't want to do it because they already know the end result. Meanwhile, they never tried it. Sometimes I remember my parents would give me food and I go, oh, I don't want it. And they would say, just take one bite. See if you like it. And all right, I'll take it. I'll take a bite of it. I take a bite out of it, and I liked it. Right? So give it a shot. Give God a chance. It's not, you'll get much more out of it than what you put into it. But you gotta do it. You gotta try it. I'm glad you guys are watching this video, because if you are watching this video, there's an interest in these things. And if you have an itch, scratch the itch. Give God a chance. Be more virtuous. You're gonna gain. You're gonna get blessings from God. God wants you on His side, and He's willing to give His children gifts. But you have to be worthy of the gifts. You just can't pray to God, God, give me a car. Meanwhile, we do everything dastardly under the sun. It doesn't work that way. God is not Santa Claus. Okay? So that's the video today. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, give it a like. And if you like, subscribe to the channel. God bless and take care.